breatharianism. So
Seems like you're struggling to
I am struggling to breathe. Yeah, I do apologise. I'll try and cut out all the coughs, but
You won't.
but I won't. Yeah,
You need a cough button like me, or like a swear button.
I do need a
You
cough.
can
You
tell
got a
George
cough
to
button?
cough.
How have you done that?
I got a swear button.
All right. Fucking hell, gee. Advanced
the budget's
PC
going up.
user there.
Week by week, the budget increases.
You need like little
Yeah.
like soundboard that now like.
Yeah. So next time George says, "Oh, I've got another Bigfoot story," I say, "You f***ing
I was going to do as a bit of a laugh. I was going to say, and this week we'll be talking about Bigfoot or like the alien Bigfoot, just to see George's face. Yeah.
Had my
no.
glory snatched away from me.
Yeah, I thought it was too mean, and I thought maybe I will talk about Bigfoot another day. So I don't want a boy who cried wolf.
You can talk about Bigfoot. If you want. We can talk about big feet together.
That'd be
Yeah.
lovely.
Plurals.
But no, I'm not talking about Bigfoot. I am talking about breatharianism. So, are you familiar with the practice of breatharianism?
No.
Nope.
So, breatharianism, or inedia, is another name for it, which doesn't sound quite as nice, does it?
That sounds like a environmentally friendly, like washing up liquid brand, like
Well, I think
Eat Cover or
I was
something.
going to say
sounds
it sounds like a drum and bass group.
Yeah,
it does sound like
yeah.
a drum and bass group, yeah, or a drum and bass festival.
Mm.
It sounds like inedible, I guess, which is there must be something to do with the lexiconography of it.
What a word.
I know, Jesus Christ, mate.
You do a lot of reading.
We're
you
smart
do.
over here, aren't we?
But yeah, so it is the practice of someone claiming an ability to live without eating, and in a lot of cases, not even drinking water.
That's impossible.
Or is it, Tom?
That is Curious Cast.
I mean, yeah, kind of, innit? But there are many people, and people have been saying it for a while, and there are still to this day people that claim to have gone like years. There's people I'm going to talk about that say they've gone 20 years without really eating. A lot of them are sort of like a little vague on how much they eat, but they're trying to really sell the fact that they don't really eat. Again, I'm still saying really.
It's
'cause
rubbish.
It is rubbish.
Yeah.
Don't eat or don't drink. And basically, the idea is possible to survive off breath, like, which is why the breatharianism, off of the breathing and the air around you. You can get everything you need from
Mother Earth.
Or prana, they call it.
Yeah, that's the ultimate, like, that's stepping up from veganism.
Yeah.
That's like, vegans think they're the top dogs. They've got the moral high ground. Don't even eat the earth.
I hate to draw a parallel, but annoyingly, a lot of parallels do get drawn. Like a lot of people that practice this, maybe they maybe started with a vegan diet, and fruitarians, that sort of comes from there, and then so a lot of them will say that they eat, like, if they do eat, they only eat like fruit smoothies.
They only drink 10 litres of fruit smoothie.
Yeah, and like I did read this one article that was talking about this one person is like, they claim to have not eaten in years, and it's like, but then in another breath they say like they say they eat soup and drink juice drinks, and it's like, well, you do eat.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, you just
Blend
don't
all
eat.
your food. And
Don't eat a lot.
Don't eat.
And some of the articles I read are like, well, it kind of is possible to live on like not a lot, like the sort of things they describe, like soup and a bit of this and a bit of that. It's like you could in theory have enough calories from that to not waste away. But
I guess
Sounds really shit though, doesn't
what
it?
counts as eating, right? Because people in comas or people that are like not mobile enough to chew and swallow, they're not eating. But they're not living off their breath.
That's true, but they certainly, the breatharians certainly claim to survive off air and not food. That's really what they're trying to say. Food does not give them sustenance. Yeah, there's, well,
Sounds like a lot of hot air to me.
Look, it is one of those things. I'll be honest with you. So I went into it with pure, obviously, like, this is complete load of shit, and this is going to be a funny thing to talk about in the podcast, right?
Yeah.
And by no means am I saying that I am won over, but there were a couple of things that I said on the way that I was like, okay, like basically fasting not necessarily a bad thing, which we'll talk about in a bit. And a few things that I did watch, and I was like, man, I can't believe that dude. Like basically anyone that's like American or English, I don't believe for shit. But if they're like a Indian like yoga master, I'm like, I can't believe this guy. Like I don't know why. It just seems more believable.
Is this how you feel when I talk about aliens and UFOs, Tom? I don't necessarily believe it all, but every now and again there's some geezer that I really believe.
Well, no, I mean, I'll tell you the bit I'm talking about. I don't believe that he's gone 20 years or whatever without eating or whatever, but there's just one certain thing he talks about, which I was kind of a bit like, But anyway, I'll get to it.
If you give yourself a like a nutrient enema, does that count as eating? Like, could your body absorb enough like calories through the bum?
I don't think it goes in. An enema is the opposite of that.
What do you mean? No, enema is when you put stuff up it, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, that is a suppository.
No, an enema is like a little pill. No, I mean like if you had like a smoothie and you just shoved it up your bum.
No, but you don't absorb nutrients that way. And then an enema is.
I'm sure that your colon does.
No,
because you put alcohol up your bum, you get drunk, right?
Yeah. Do you?
Isn't it?
I heard that as a teenager.
You can drink it in your mouth as well.
No,
what do they do?
You don't have to absorbs it quicker through your bum lining.
But you don't have to put it up your bum, Tom. You know that, right?
But that's how you get drunk.
Well, what was it
I learned it in school. My PE teacher, he took me into the cupboard and he told me. He showed me.
That's bleak. What was it in South Park? They do something with their arse, don't they? Is it just eating up their arse?
They do a lot.
And there's one specifically.
I think they eat back. Yeah,
they do a whole eating up their arse, and they make Butters do it or something. Anyway, but an enema is when you wash out like your insides.
Yeah, but you put a tube up there with liquid.
You fire stuff up
with liquid, and you fire shit up. People do. A lot of people that are into this same sort of field, right? They do what they call coffee enemas. So you wash it out with coffee. I don't know why coffee's any better.
Because it gets you. Because
it cleanses you.
You probably get caffeinated from it.
Yeah,
maybe.
100%. Your colon definitely absorbs stuff. 100%. It must do.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose, you wouldn't do a suppository, would you? I suppose.
Yeah.
Do you mean?
Otherwise, a suppository would make no sense if your colon doesn't allow you to absorb stuff.
Yeah. So therefore, like, if you've got constipation, right? Suppository.
No, for many things you can just give. Like you often given to babies when they can't take a tablet, you shove it up their ass.
Yeah,
true.
So logic shows if you stick a chicken korma up there, you get the calories.
I reckon this is like wouldn't be able to do the same with a naan bread though.
It's the ultimate curios bro science here, isn't it? We're like, well, therefore you can definitely absorb nutrients up your arsehole. Suppository,
a madras or no thanks.
Anyway, why did you even say that?
I don't know. I was thinking if that was the case, if you could absorb nutrients, you could say, then that counts as not eating technically.
Right, yeah,
so maybe that's what I was thinking. Maybe they get around it by doing stuff like that. Don't know.
Nah. No. I think what really happens is a lot of them just eat.
They lie about it.
Yeah, and just lie about it.
You surprised me.
Well, right. So there's pretty much the most famous breatharian, kind of like the what do you call the godmother? I was going to say, what do you call the female godmother? The godmother of breatharianism, some call her. Jasmaheen is her name. That was her enlightened name. Her real name was her birth Christian name was Ellen Grieve. But she prefers Jasmaheen.
Who gave her that enlightened name?
I'm not sure. Probably herself. But she, so yeah, she basically claimed to have like, how long does she say that she went for? She claimed to be like 17, 18 years without eating. Was her crack? Right. She's basically like the first person to sort of talk about it. She's still cracking on, right? She still talks at like New Age spiritual conferences. She's still on that Gaia thing. You seen that?
I know the word, but I can't remember what it is.
It's like some New Age spiritual sort of like alternative to YouTube. But you get some Gaia videos that go onto YouTube to obviously encourage you to then go over to this platform. It's like a subscription.
Didn't they sell
platform.
it as like a learning platform, like the
Exactly that. And it's like, but it's all, there's some stuff on there that's like yoga and stuff, and it's like, cool, I'm sure that's great. But then there's lots of other just like pretty far out stuff, including talks from this woman. This is what she said. This is what she used to say. People will ask her, "Have you eaten? What do you eat and stuff?" She'd say, "Generally not much at all. Maybe a few cups of tea and a glass of water. Now and then I feel a bit bored and want some flavour. I will have a mouthful of whatever it is I'm wanting flavour of. So it might be a piece of chocolate or a mouthful of cheesecake. Something like that."
Cheating.
Define mouthful as well. She literally cramming it to the very brim.
Well, this is what she says, though. She says,
I put my mouth full of chocolate.
Well, she says she stated previously that she's lived on approximately 300 calories per day for the past 14 years, maintaining full health through supplementing a fluid intake with cosmic particles or microfood, which she describes as prana. She stated that she's not yet mastered the ability to be fluid-free for more than short periods.
So does she look like she... Because, you'd think that she'd be pretty skeletal looking. Does she look like fairly healthy, or is she a bit like haggard? She
don't look that bad. She might look different back in the day when she was in the depths of breatharianism. Let me get a picture up. Jasmine. Oops.
Because obviously you can get calories from other stuff, so they must be she must be cheating with like some sort of water additive that is like calorie heavy or something like that.
I think she was just generally cheating. Like, I don't think there was much more to it. If I'll just give you I'll spell her name, you can just look her up and have a look. She looks a bit older now, obviously, but even back then she didn't look like, she weren't frail. She wasn't like skin and bones, like you said. It's just not true. I think is the long and short of it. So lots of shit happened. Like throughout this time, over like 5. It says here at least 5. What's that?
Bit of assault,
I suppose one might say. Over about 5 deaths have been linked directly to like things that she's published, supposedly. So like, it's a weird noise. People trying to follow breatharianism, but she's denied any responsibility, which I guess she would, wouldn't she? So there's a few people. So there's one person from Melbourne. A woman died in 1999 while attempting the breatharian diet. Another guy and his wife. Oh wow! They were jailed for 6 and 2 years for their involvement in Morris. I didn't actually read about this one. Apparently, I guess they were like mentoring him. Someone else who died of hypothermia and dehydration. This was quite a famous one. Yeah, she went up to Scotland and was practicing it, and then her diary mentioned Jazz Maheen's teachings specifically. So that was one where they were like, it was quite directly, she was following your teachings, and then she fucking died. She was found dead in a tent. Another woman died trying to survive purely on light, as taught by one of Jazz Maheen's books. And a Dutch woman.
Of course they love it.
Living in a household of 4 people who were practicing it. She died under mysterious circumstances, it says. The other members of the house are suspected of withholding the malnourished woman adequate medical care. So I guess they thought like, we're all in it together. Maybe previously she'd said, make sure we don't get any food or we will be fine.
Packed.
Yeah.
She was probably doing it because, the Dutch cuisine isn't that good. So she was probably just fed up with like mashed potato and mashed potato.
There was
I'm sorry in Netherlands, okay, but it's a fact.
I want to find this woman on YouTube. So there was a woman that I actually watched this a while back. I couldn't find it. That is her. Right, I found her. Right. So there was a woman not too long ago that tried to do it and like follow the whole thing like a live stream. Her name was Navina Shrine. Again, that was probably her enlightened name. She wanted to live on just light for 100 days. and she set up like a whole like live stream where you could like pay to watch it and stuff like that, or maybe it was for free. I can't remember. Or I think eventually you did have to pay. It was weird. A lot of people tuned in at first, and then I guess she tried to make some money from it. I don't know. But the idea was to go 100 days. She went like 47 days, which is quite fucking long. She was drinking, but like she was nearly fucking dead. And basically she decided like, nah, I ain't about this. I can't. Pretty much decided. She said the universe told me to stop. Yeah,
it's ridiculous. I can remember I had like a vague recollection of reading something similar to this, and I've just found it in a Daily Mail article about a couple. I'd seen this couple before that say they're only like 3 times a week or something.
I have got that couple as part of my that I'm going to talk about. I'm assuming it is like
Camilla.
That's it. Akahi Ricardo and Camilla Castillo.
Yeah,
Castillo. Yeah.
That's a lot of cuz.
That is a lot of cuz. I must admit, there's a few things in there that I'm going to talk about that I did have to look up how to say them. But I looked up in advance of how to say them. So that's dedication. I know. Yeah, 45 days seems a lot, doesn't it? But yeah, she did all these things like she maxed out her credit cards, installing. So she installed 8 security cameras all around the house, and they're recording her 24/7 to prove she wasn't cheating. I mean, to be fair to her, she'd give it a good crack. She said she hoped for contributions, to help with the costs, but she only received £425 in contributions. All right, so there you go. You could tune in, but she asked for contributions.
Yeah.
As for her first meal, she would say it consists of lemon juice with vitamin C and a spoonful of maple syrup. Trouble is, you can't crack straight on, can you? After that, it will fuck you up. But yeah,
a spoonful of maple syrup.
That's what she wanted as her first thing that she ate. Yeah.
How big's the spoon? Like a comedy spoon.
No, I mean this is what she was going to eat after deciding to stop.
Oh, right.
Because you can't just...
That was like a daily... Because I was going to say that's cheating, because that's still like 30 calories.
She had nothing. She really had nothing but water, and she really did apparently do it.
I'd want the biggest curry ever on that. My first meal, I'd want it.
You can't. It fuck you up. Like if you go from like eating nothing, you die. Like,
I'll take that risk. I'll go out happy. I'll go out full of korma, and I'll be happy.
When they come off, what was the thing on the island?
Oh, Bear Grylls.
The island. The island, I think.
Yeah. The island, yeah.
They then have like a week of like debrief, at least a week, I think, afterwards.
Yeah,
where
I think it's even the same with like, I'm a Celebrity. Like they, the ones who make it to the end, they get to like all sit and have their final meal, and they have like a nice, you can order whatever you want. And they always get like a quarter of their way through their burger and chips, and they're done for. And when they get out, they want to sort of splurge, but you can't. You have to like ease your way in to be able to eat it again.
Just physically, your stomach's got smaller, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you ever find that if you have like a massive meal, the next day you're hungry?
Yeah.
Like you sort of stretch your stomach a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was her, Navina Shine. But I didn't actually write it down. I just remember that something I watched a while ago that I want to talk about. But yeah, Jazz Maheen, right? So the main thing where Jazz Maheen fell apart, and I was going to say she's in theory discredited, right? But all the people that kind of believed her anyway, well, a lot of people ended up thinking she was full of shit. But then she's not completely done. She still managed a bit of a comeback, as it were. And she still speaks on this guy, and she probably gets paid for it. Anyway, they did like a 60 Minutes on her. Like the American / it was New Zealand 60 Minutes, I think. But
yeah. Where is she from originally?
I think America.
Just Earth, man.
Just Earth, yeah, all over. Doesn't really say. New South Wales, Australia.
Okay.
So sorry, yeah, it was the Australian 60 Minutes, right? And they basically went to her like house and like did a whole interview of it. And part of that, she was gonna then not eat for I think a week is what she said she'd do, like while they were like filming her, basically in like controlled conditions to prove that she could do it, right? After about 48 hours, she was starting to get pretty fucked. This was without food or water, by the way, she was doing on this one. And
that's the worst part, without water.
Yeah.
I go 4 hours without drinking water and I get a headache.
Yeah. Well, she they had like a proper medical professional like following this, right? So after 48 hours, apparently she displayed symptoms of acute dehydration, stress, and high blood pressure. She said it was a result of polluted air, right? So on the third day, they moved to a mountainside retreat about 15 miles from the city. She was enjoying the fresh air, and she claims she can now fully practice Anidia, right, to absorb the right proteins or whatever. But then the thing is, right, other people say, I've watched in other videos where people were like, nah, there's plenty of people who just live a regular life, work in cities, you can do whatever you like and that. And it's like, Anyway, but as filming progressed, her speech slowed. Apparently she just got worse and worse and worse. After 4 days, she acknowledged that she lost weight, but stated that she felt fine. I mean, you'd lose water weight at least, wouldn't you? Like we said the other day. You're now quite dehydrated, probably over 10%, getting up to 11%, the doctor said. Pulse is about double than when it started. Risk goes any further, you risk. He said if it goes any further, you risk kidney failure. It continued to deteriorate, despite her. She was saying, "I'm fine." She wanted to continue with it. Basically, after I think in day 4, they decided that they need to stop doing this because they would then be responsible in a way for her dying. So they cancelled the experiment after day 4 because they concluded it was definitely going to kill her.
4 days.
4 days, yeah.
That's mad that people are claiming like 40.
I mean, bear in mind she wasn't drinking. She wasn't drinking.
Must be people convincing themselves, like believing it so much that they convince themselves that they haven't eaten.
Well, this is another thing that I read about. One guy that wrote this really good article, but he basically went and stayed with it with a couple of people. It was a guy. I want to give the reference on that because I read quite a lot on his. Because obviously they need the shout out.
Credit where credit's due.
Yeah, exactly. You got to credit your references, haven't you? This was in GQ magazine, actually, strangely.
Shout out to GQ, friend of the show.
And it was written by Brina Kerr. Is that a man or female name? In my head, it was a man, but maybe it's a woman.
Brina.
I don't know why I read it in a man. Maybe because of my innate sexism. But anyway,
disgusting.
Get
off this podcast.
He or she is Brina. I'm going to say she then.
Brina. I think it's a she, isn't it?
Yeah,
but is it Breena?
Yeah,
I think it's a woman.
Let's say she then. Right. So she made like you said, the hypothesis that maybe these people maybe they genuinely believe that they don't really eat. They sort of self-convince themselves. They convince themselves, like pathological liars, they believe their own shit, don't they? Maybe that's the thing, they really do believe that they haven't really eaten in some strange way, or because they really want to believe that they're not kind of trying to mug people off. I don't know. But the other woman, you were saying about the other woman really did do 45 days, by the way, but she was drinking water and having like cups of tea.
Yeah,
which some people question.
Obviously, people can live for a long time on minimal food.
It's water. Yeah. It's water you can't do. Food,
it's water.
Food you can go a fair while, can't you, without eating? I believe.
But things like obviously it happens now. But what was the famous case where there was like explorers in the Arctic or the Antarctic that got stuck on an iceberg their ship got trapped in ice, and then the ice crushed the ship. So then this
is such a George James.
I was just going to say exactly that.
But they were stuck on this iceberg for like 2 years.
What?
Like in the Antarctic. Yeah. It was at least a year, maybe even 2 years. They were just stuck there because no one could get down to them.
That's easy because you just eat the ice. That's food, and then you let it melt. That's drink.
Well, yeah, so they were surviving on their water. Obviously, they had loads of that. Perfect, because they got ice. But then they were like eating minimal food because, they were catching like penguins every now and again and seals and shit. But then they just have nothing. But no one survived. No one died. All of them lived, and they were all fairly healthy.
Got rescued and were just all right.
Yeah. They had to like sail to another island, which was like 800 miles away. They like had this little makeshift boats. It's a mental story. I'll find it and you can.
That's a good one.
But they survived on minimal food for like 2 years.
I'd give up after a couple of weeks at least.
Yeah, I mean, there's no fried chicken down there, Tom. There's no Uber Eats. You talk about.
I'd get withdrawals. I'd be getting the shakes after about a day.
Well, interestingly, you saying about giving up. So a lot of people do. They claim that this gives you one of the reasons they do it is because it, makes the reason they do it rather is because it makes you enlightened. Is the main reason people do it. So if you remove yourself from yourself, from body, then you become more than you. And so like you then. But then what this scientist person I read about said, the reason for that is because like a lot of people, like your body kind of gives up fighting after a while. So like a lot of people experience, people like nearly die of hypothermia and stuff like that, right? Is that they'll say that they experienced this real euphoria towards the point where they were pretty much dead. And then they're kind of brought around. It's basically where your body gives up fighting and like this thing sort of happens where like you just accept, your body just accepts that you can't fight anymore. So all the stress of everything trying to fight is gone. And so you have this kind of nothing left, but just this like, so it's kind of euphoric, which is what people think that maybe happens when you kind of like starve yourself in this way, that you go through, once you get past all the horrible hunger and stuff like that, you eventually just go, And that's perhaps one of the benefits of like fasting for a reasonable amount of time, And I know people that have done intermittent fasting talk about feeling better because, say you just go a day without eating. Like if you learn to sort of do that, if you do it over time and you build up the longer that you do it, if you're not hungry and you go a while without eating, you just kind of feel all right. And that can be sort of pleasant, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we have a mutual friend who was trying a water fast.
Yeah. Water fast.
Yeah, he was trying.
Who did that?
I don't. Wow.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
And he was trying not to eat and drink any water for. I think he wanted to do like 2 whole days. Like he wanted to go 48 hours, and he struggled. I think he said after he got to like. I think maybe the first time he got to like nearly 24 hours and he was like, okay, I'm going to give up. And then he maybe tried a couple of weeks later and went a little bit further and a little bit further. And I think he'd read similar kind of things about maybe the benefits that you feel. And I asked him, I don't know if it was conclusive or not. I don't think he really got a huge amount out of it other than like the mental, can I do this kind of thing? Like, like almost like testing your perseverance.
Well, we know a few people that have done, intermittent fasting in terms of, and what do they call it? Keto diet. So,
yeah. I mean, Lawford does a fast.
Lawford's done it, and Ziggy as well.
I feel like I do intermittent fasting by accident so many times. There's so many times where I'll eat lunch and then just whether I'm out or I'm just busy or something, and it gets too late. It's like 1 a.m. I'm like, well, it's too late to have dinner now. I'm just going to go to bed. And then I get up late and I'm like, shit, I haven't got time for breakfast. And I don't eat. And it's sometimes I go like 20 hours without eating. Yeah. It's not it's just, but I don't feel any benefit or anything, but I don't know if is that because I'm just not doing it on purpose. I'm just late.
It's because you're not embracing the spiritual side of it, Tom.
Well, apparently as well, like, doing it irregularly, you don't really feel that much benefit from doing it irregularly. It's like if you do it with like a regularity, that's when it's supposed to. Because actually, like, so the good benefits from fasting is a thing called I want to get the pronunciation right. Autophagy, right? So it's spelt like autophagy. It looks like autophagy, and that's. So I wanted to actually read out the scientific thing of what that actually is, right? I had to read this so many times to sort of half understand it, right? But so it is the process by which the body starts to recycle the structures inside its cells, including the nucleus where the DNA is stored, the mitochondria, which synthesize the chemicals our cells use for energy, and I look up the pronunciation of this word as well. I forgot it now. Lysosomes, I think it is. Lysosomes, that's what it is. Lysosomes, which remove waste from our cells. In doing so, the cell can remove defunct structures, freeing up new raw materials from which new cellular structures can be built. So basically, your cells kind of get rid of the shit and build new, better shit. That's
get rid of shit, build new, better.
Yeah, it's just a way for your cells to kind of break down and like almost like clean out. So like when people talk like more kind of simplistically about like your body cleansing itself, and it kind of does, right? And And there's like a guy that got a Japanese scientist named Yoshinori Ushumi. He won a Nobel Prize for his research on fasting and the way it kickstarts a regenerative cellular process called autophagy. It's the Greek for self-eating, by the way. That's where autophagy comes from.
I know.
So, yeah, so he won a Nobel Prize about it. So there is like something to be said about that. But that can kind of happen after like 11 hours, maybe not even that, like 11 to 12 hours, your body can experience autophagy, which is basically what happens when your body goes into ketosis, they say with this keto, is basically that's happening. Mm. But you kind of have to, it also depends on your diet, depending on what you're eating. So when people do a keto diet, they have like no real carbohydrates, don't they? That's kind of another part of it.
Yeah.
It's because the way your body absorbs the carbohydrate. I'm sure I'm butchering this. Lawford or Ziggy could explain it better. But it's to do with the way your body burns off the carbohydrates. It takes longer, I think. So basically, you get into this autophagy quicker if you don't have carbohydrates, pretty much.
Okay.
Is my brief understanding of it. But that's when like your body does the good thing, is when you allow it to do that. So, but like
the good thing.
The good thing. But this woman in an article I read said about this scientist, this highly prestigious scientist, said about you kind of got to work your way up to it if you really want the benefits of it. Go. Maybe don't have your dinner at 6 and then don't have a snack. Because most people, I mean, I'm terribly bad for it. I'll have a snack. I'll have a little something at like 8 or 9, or you have a beer. Beer's a big thing that kind of ruins your body going into autophagy.
Beer's liquid, it's fine.
Apparently not. Well, I mean, it is liquid. I'm not debating that, but
it's apparently loaf of bread, basically.
It's apparently not. Liquid loaf of bread. But yeah, so say you have your last meal at like 6 and then you don't eat till like 9 in the morning. That can be enough to sort of stimulate the correct responses. But only if you do that with like a regularity, your body kind of works its way up to it. I don't know. And then you can sort of extend it a little. I think a lot of intermittent fasting, I think, is 18 hours. Which a lot of them who do like, when they do like keto, they do like 18 hours is when your body starts to benefit. But again, you got to kind of get used to it. I know Lawford and that would always say that, like it sucked for a while, but once you got more into it, but I know
I haven't got the willpower for it. I just
No, me and my mates at school tried to see who could go the longest without a wank before. I think I've told you guys.
Yeah, I told us before.
And, I think it was 5 days.
Well, there's whole like Reddit things for that now, isn't there? No FAP.
No FAP. Yeah. Yeah. No, not November.
No, yeah. That's it. And was it supposed to make you more like jacked and like ready to go? Is it? Is that?
I think it's meant to like build. I think they say like it might increase your testosterone.
Yeah.
And I think the opposite is actually true. I think that come in actually makes you produce more testosterone. Seems to make sense. Your body probably thinks you're like more, you're going at it more, make more. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think they say like increases testosterone. And also I think some of it is probably like comes from a little bit of truth of like, there's probably so many fucking losers out there that just sit and just watch porn all day and just wank all the time. And it's more like a fucking stop wanking and actually go out and like do something with your life, like go and actually like talk to people. And I think like if someone who had an issue with like wanking stopped wanking, they might actually go do something productive. But then, people turn it into like, people will put like it would be like a meme of like a wolf and it'll be like leader of the pack, like no FAP, and like that wolf's like not a wanker, and all the other sheep, they're the wanking people. they FAP, and
you've just alienated our audience.
Yeah, they're all wankers.
No, that's good then, because we want the wankers. Wait, how the fuck did we get onto that?
I just said it.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's what I was going to say though. That like, I think a lot of the benefits from maybe not doing like a fasting kind of diet is really like with most radical changes in diets is that the benefit is really just because you were eating like really bad before, like you were just saying with that. If you're just a fucking serial wanker, not doing fuck all, then you get some benefits. And if you're just eating like shit and you change your diet, you're probably going to get some benefits, like, or even if you start fasting and stuff. And a lot of, again, what I read is this is like, if you're going to do it, you've got to then eat well around it. You can't then go back to having a fuck, because then your body sort of makes up for it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
pretty much all diets are just like ways of tricking you into reducing the amount of calories you're eating. Like,
and then hopefully
when they
sustain
say,
it, yeah.
all right, I'm going to go on a no-fat diet, or I'm going to go on a no-carb diet, or I'm going to do the paleo this and the caveman that. Like, all they are is just because your body can only eat a certain amount of one thing. So, like, if you're restricting yourself of like, oh, I can't eat a third of the foods out there, then obviously you're just not going to eat as much.
Yeah. Well, I watched, I think it was in a Joe Rogan once, actually. He said about, there's this one guy who was like a diet coach type guy, and he said one extreme diet he puts on people that are like morbidly obese, just to like kickstart is he'll put on just like a potato diet, and like use that. He basically say you can eat all the potatoes you want, but nothing, no salt, no butter, just potato. You can mash it, you can boil it, do what you like. All you can have is potato.
Sounds like Dutch food.
And then apparently, like,
can you fry it?
I'm not sure. I don't think you can fry it. I think you can only boil it. Yeah.
Oh,
fuck that.
And he said, like,
doesn't even sound appealing at all.
No, it doesn't. And that's and like what happens is people just obviously eat purely to satiate themselves, and that's it. You know, like once the hunger's gone, they're like, fuck that, I'm not eating any more of that. And it's a real instant way of just like relearning your brain to go, yeah. But anyway, I haven't come to talk about the potato diet. Just breath, man. So yeah, that was Jazz Maheen. She basically got, in theory, what's the word? Debunked. That's the word I was going for. Fuck. But again, but she still fucking goes. Just like that. I think we spoke about Uri Geller a few times, didn't we? I must have. He's still. Is it? I mean, he's not really going anymore. But he never didn't ruin his career. That James Randi debunking him. His career just fizzled out when people lost interest in that kind of shit, didn't they? Like,
I think I saw him in the news recently.
He still every now and then he crops up, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He still has something to say every now and then. I don't know, but
get him on the pod.
Remember Mystic Meg was primetime TV stuff. Remember that?
Yeah. Mystic Meg.
That's the well 90s.
I remember like being like blown away by it, but then I was like 14. So.
No, you must have been younger than that with Mystic Meg, because I was like 8 or 9. Like Mystic Meg was
I'm thinking of Psychic Sally.
Oh, okay. What's that? Was that another show thing?
Yeah, so she's just on stage. She's a medium, and talks to your dead people.
Well, Mystic Meg was on like the lottery. So they used to do like when the lottery was like prime time Saturday night thing. Yeah. It would be like a whole show sometimes as well for like half hour, which was bizarre. I don't really know how they made a whole show out of that. They try and do like quizzes with it and stuff, or like little like quiz games. It was weird. Anyway, but there'd like be a Mystic Meg segment, and she'd come up and say like, the numbers are gonna be good for this sort of person. I don't really remember the shtick, but anyway.
You'd have thought she'd be playing it every week.
Who is it? Darren Brown predicted the numbers, didn't he?
Yeah. What was the crack with that? What did he do there? Because he obviously didn't predict the numbers, did he?
He always. That's the kind of his thing, is he doesn't really tell you, like,
he sort of tells you but doesn't he? Or
yeah. Well, I saw him live before, and he was basically up there, and he said all these mediums who say they can talk to your dead nan and this and that, they're all bullshitters, they're all fakers, and he went, I'm gonna prove it by doing it. And then he said, like, the first like 20 people who can make it on stage come up here, and like a bunch of people run up. I was at the back, so I didn't get up there, but like a bunch of people got up on stage. It's like, it's not set up because they couldn't have got 20 planted people to all get up there first before someone from the crowd.
Yeah.
And he basically went to all of them and was like doing the whole medium shit. So he's like, your uncle is talking to me, and then he'd like look at the crowd and say, he's not really, he's fucking dead. And he turns back and he's like, his name was Jason. And then the guy's like, yeah, it is. And he kept like looking at the crowd saying, I'm not actually talking to his dead relative, it's all tricks. And then he would turn back and he started getting it like so specific, like saying what their favourite TV show was and like their morning routine and shit, and really personal stuff. And people started like crying and like getting real emotional.
Did he know these people's names and shit, or I
don't think he knew the people
on stage's name. Didn't know their name or anything.
No, he would introduce himself and he'd just be like, all right, what's your name? And then I think they'd be like, oh, Greg.
So they would say their name. Would they say their full name?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I was wondering whether because maybe I know that what people do now, especially, is they just look shit up on Facebook.
Yeah, maybe.
Like they fucking do. Gina watched one once, right? I feel like she decided she wanted to watch.
Your nan says she really loved your pictures of Benidorm 2017.
Well, basically, like Gina wanted to watch one once, and I was like, I'm sitting in the other room. I'm having nothing to do with that. If you want to watch that, cool, whatever.
No, he's scared of it.
I am scared of it, yeah. but what I couldn't help myself, right? I was just getting on fucking Facebook. She was saying this person's name, who was, someone that was in the film. Obviously, you can see everyone's names just written on their fucking screen, right? And I was going on their face, like I heard her saying this stuff, and I was thinking, what? And I was going on their Facebook, and everything she was saying, I could find on their Facebooks. Like, someone's. It was, obviously everyone's on there. They're like in hideous grief. They're posting all this stuff, saying that they miss their mum.
And they want to believe it.
I miss their mum. I miss our favourite song. And she was saying something like, "Mum's still singing that song." What is it? Trying to be vague about it, but then getting it. And it was like, you
should have performed.
I should have. Anyway, we're not talking about mediums.
Modern James Randi, you are, mate.
But. So that was Jazz Maheen. Fuck Jazz Maheen, right? She's still going. It was the point I was making somehow. So the one that you read about earlier, George, and these are still getting about. They're kind of like a modern one. They're a couple, kind of like an Instagrammy couple, right? Akahi Ricardo and Camila Castillo are their names. And this is the one that this woman, I guess, Brina, went and stayed with. It's a really interesting article. I'll send it to you. You should read it. But she goes and stayed with them while they're doing a retreat. So these people I think it was 7 people go on this retreat with them to do this basically for 7-day fasting, right? And they pay like over $1,000, like $1,200 or something they each pay, maybe more than that. They pay to just go and like one thing she writes a couple of times, just like pretty activity less for that much money. It was like, which normally you'd probably kick up more of a fuss about, but because you're just not like wanting to do fuck all because you haven't eaten, then it seems okay. Like they basically go, and he said they have one morning like guided meditation, and then they have like an evening meditation sort of thing at 5 p.m. and that's it. Those are the 2 activities.
No meals included or anything?
No. Well, at the end of the 7 days, or the end of this fast, I think they weren't even drinking. Oh no, that's it. They don't drink for 3 of them. So they don't eat for 7, and for 3 of those days they have no water. But then for like 4 more of the days they have just juice from like these apples that they pick from the ground, and
sacred apples.
Like not from the ground. I know where apples come from, but like the grounds. I meant like from that where they're still staying. It's some like nice place in the middle of like the hills in California or something. But yeah. It seems pretty mad, and again, a lot of them talk about this kind of enlightenment. But she speaks to the couple, and then, and they kind of, she's like, when pushed, they sort of admit to eating. They don't completely deny it, but like
that's just lying.
Yeah, I know. Well, they won't offer it up, but they sort of admit to like, oh yeah, we eat a little bit every now and then. But they sort of try and say that it's not a lot.
We don't eat. Do you eat? Okay, we eat a bit.
We eat a bit, but then this is where she brought up what you were saying, George, where it's like they sort of convinced, it's like they're sort of convinced that they're kind of doing it a bit, or they don't realise that what they are eating is kind of just eating, and they're sort of kidding themselves a bit. I don't know.
They've got kids as well, haven't they? They've got like 2 kids, I think.
Yeah,
and
these might be different too, maybe, actually. There is a different couple that I read about. Oh, no, it's her. No, it's different ones, because she claimed to not eat while on pregnant. She had a breatharian pregnancy.
Yeah, which is bullshit.
Yeah, which is bullshit. The whole 9 months she didn't eat, apparently.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Baby dead. Start over.
Yeah, that can't be good for your baby at all.
And no. I remember when I read about it, they said that the kids, they don't obviously make them also do this breatharianism, whatever.
Yeah.
But they encourage it, but they allow the kids to decide when they want to eat. So, you've got kids that are sort of eating, obviously. So there's no way that they're also not eating. When the kids are eating, it's just...
Yeah.
But I think they just don't realise that they're eating.
They probably got loads of food around the house as well. Well, this is what this... One thing I just remembered, though, about that Jazz Maheen, apparently, when 60 Minutes got to her house, they open up a fridge. She's got like a full fridge of like vegetables and stuff. And they were like, what's this for? And she was like, my husband who does eat or something. Some like dead excuse.
like 60 Minutes are going to come around to film a documentary of you about the fact you don't eat food.
Yeah.
And you don't think to get rid of the food from the house.
You think that's like step one, wouldn't you? You go, at least get rid of the food.
She opens the door, she's got fucking chocolate around her lips. She's got a crisp, brushing a crisp.
I just did it. That was my one piece of chocolate from when I had the urge that she said, yeah. But yeah, they basically goes and stays with him for a while. Well, she stays with him like a day or so, but then this whole people are staying for the week, and she sort of visits in and out.
Probably walk around with a bag of crisps. Yeah, she's interviewing.
Yeah, well, she doesn't eat while she's there, obviously. But they do drink this drink together after like the day 4 when they go back to drinking. I mean, one of the things she says, well, I can see the appeal of it is like, you know, like people going from like having like not a lot of money and like health issues, and then suddenly this thing comes along and says you can have like all, especially in America where you have to pay for your healthcare.
You can have a bit more money and even more health issues.
Well, no, where it's like, this is the cure to all your health issues, and it's the opposite of costs. You know, it costs you less because you don't even have to buy food. Apart from the $1,200 you got to give me to come to my retreat, please.
Or buy my books.
After that, or buy my books. After that, you're good. But the one dude I did want to speak about, I said that I believed like a little bit, right? This is the only bit I believed of this guy, right? So his name's Sadhguru, Sadh Guru. It's all one word. I'll send you a link to this YouTube video that I watched. I mean, for starters, he just looks like an absolute fucking dude, like, which just helps why I like him a little bit. But the title of the video is How Yogis Live Without Food or Water, and it's sort of talking about this prana thing again, and like, but he like sort of says
proper gazer, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, he sort of he doesn't really talk about doing it for like forever, right? I think he maybe at some point he talks about some people doing it, but he talks about fasting for a long period of times, right? And there is some, again, when I was reading stuff about fasting, some people say like, you know, if you're not doing a lot, then you can go longer, of course. You know, like the idea that you could go like and live a normal life and crack on with everyday stuff while, you know, like working manual jobs or going to the gym and that while not eating that is just nonsense. Like if you like sit down and just do fuck all for a week, then you can probably, you know, do maybe for longer than a week, whatever. You know, you could do it for a long time if you're not doing a lot, because you're not burning the calories, basically. But this guy talks about, he tells this story where a woman comes into like a temple. I guess he's like, I was going to say working out. I guess it's not working out, is it? Temple that he's something to do with. And you're supposed to only come in at like 15-minute rotation, because like, a lot of people visit it, and you know, to get enough people through, you're only allowed kind of 15 minutes to sit down in this holy bit, and then they kind of ask you to move on. And she comes and sits down, and then like, apparently she's there for like 4 hours, and then people notice and they're like, gosh, she's just been sat there for 4 hours. Do you think we should ask her to move? And apparently he was like, no, leave her. And then she's there for like 8 hours, and he was like, and after 8 hours I went and sat with her, and he was like, and then like eventually she sort of wakes up or comes to sort of thing, and he's like, you know, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, oh, sorry, is my 15 minutes up? And apparently it was just like, I had no idea she hadn't been sat there for 15 minutes because she'd got into such a deep state of meditation.
Transcended reality.
Yeah, which is quite...
Fell asleep.
Fell asleep, yeah. Which is quite... I mean, but it's similar to falling asleep, I guess. You know, if you can properly...
Or exactly like that.
Yeah, if you can... well, no, if you can properly meditate, you can shut your body right down into the same... That's why there are benefits...
I do that every night.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's lots of benefits to meditation, you know, where you are awake, but... Yeah, you are one, you know, and you're just clear in your mind. Anyway, but this guy,
like when you get really high,
or you get really high. That's one option. Although quite often the opposite is true with thoughts, and like I very rarely have no thoughts when I'm high. It's just like, maybe like dogs can.
It's only been 27 seconds.
Yeah, it's like, dogs can definitely drive cars. But he then tells this story, right, where he says he went out to like, he was like, and then. It was like, I don't know whether he says he did this straight after or it might have been a time or something. I think he says it. But anyway, he went to sit out in like the hills or something, I don't know, somewhere in India, and like sat on a rock, and he said, and he just sort of sat there and shut his eyes, and then when he sort of came round, he said there was like beads and like flower necklaces around him and all these stuff all around him. And he was like, because it was India, all these like, it was like typical, all these people all around me, they were asking me questions like, what should I do with my daughter's something? And he's like, what? And he's like, what are you idiots doing out here? And apparently they said, you've been sat here for 15 days. And he said he had no idea.
It's like the Forrest Gump of just sitting.
Yeah. But like you hear, I once, and this reminded me of, like years ago, I saw like a documentary that was about this kid, the similar thing, like a sort of yogi kind of kid that had supposedly just sat, and like this film crew, like, I swear, I can't remember it now. They like filmed it for like the whole time. They filmed it and he legit did sit there for like, maybe this sort of long, like 15 days or something like that. And they filmed it.
There is mental stuff that goes on with all like yoga and meditation and stuff. Like there's the yogis, which I think, they're called yogis in India. Some of them have like one arm up, and they've had it up for like 15 years.
No, they call them like babas, don't they?
A baba, that's it, baba. Sorry, not a yogi.
Yeah.
So there's this one guy, he's had his arm up for like 15 years or something. It's all shriveled and fucked, like he's got like no muscle and stuff. So he's obviously done it.
Yeah, isn't that Carl Pilkington?
Oh yeah, it was on Carl, the Idiot Abroad. Yeah. But like stuff like that, there's loads
he has
of people
legit
that do
done
stuff
that.
like that.
He has done it. Yeah,
which is just weird. And then obviously you have the monks that it's like a phenomenon where they become entombed. They sort of meditate and they don't eat, they don't drink, and eventually they die. But that they become like this like deity. So the monks will live, they'll survive just meditating, not moving for weeks at a time, maybe 50 days or so, and then if they maintain this state of not moving, being in that sort of meditation state, and then they die, and then they become like a saint almost, and then they're
because they reach nirvana is probably what they would say.
Yeah, so there was like a famous one a couple of years ago where they found.
Don't they mummify them then or something?
Yeah, they found a mummified. What are you laughing at, Tommy?
I was gonna say, like, I don't know. Call me ignorant, but that's fucking stupid.
But they found this
like just sit there till you die.
So there was like a statue of a monk, meditating, and it was all gold and stuff and ancient, it was like hundreds of years old, and then they x-rayed it because they wanted to know what it was made of, and there was just a monk inside it, like one of these dudes that had just like meditated and then eventually died.
I could sit there forever if you encased me in gold.
But it's just I mean it does happen.
It does happen, yeah.
So I believe more in like that whole thing. I like that.
See, I knew you.
I like the mystery.
You gave me the look at the start, and I knew when I dropped this in.
The mystery.
Yeah, this is a mystery.
Breatharianism thing is bullshit.
It is bullshit. Well, that's exactly what I said. Any American or fucking English person, or basically any Western person that says that, I think you are full of shit. You're just trying to sell a book, and most of them get caught eating a fucking. There was this one famous dude. I can't remember his name. And I'm glad I can't because he was the biggest load of shit. He like got caught having a burger or something. Just and now he like famously says like pretty much all he eats is McDonald's and says because they're not radioactive. Brilliant. Some proper next level cunt, yeah. And he's still probably on this Gaia thing. I don't know. Yeah. It makes the least sense of anything.
But so that, like, the whole meditation thing is different. It's like you're going, your body is shutting down for a bit. Whereas if people are saying, I don't eat, I don't drink, and I still go about my daily life and absorb all the nutrients I need through, Mother Earth's warm embrace. Fuck off.
Exactly.
But if some geezer goes into a meditation state and he's there for like 4 days,
and you shut down your body's need for.
And afterwards he probably wakes up and he's fucked. He probably needs some water and a burger. But he's done it. He's done his business, and that's it. Watch
Sadhguru. It's a good video. He's funny. Like he says about that. He said he woke up and he's like, "What are you people doing here?"
I'll give it a watch. It's got 1.4 million views, 1.1 million views. So,
and it's only 12 minutes long. The optimum video time. Video length.
Is he still around? Is he still alive?
He's still about. Yeah, this was December 2019. I'm assuming he's still about.
Get him on. We'll go over to India.
Get him on. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's kind of me wrapped on breatharianism.
Yeah, it's making me hungry
for some good old air. I really fancy a bite of air now.
Lovely slice.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we finished on good old Sadhguru, and I won you over a little bit there, George.
You wound me up or won me over?
Won me over. I said, one thing I forgot to mention, actually. It wasn't actually as full of much content as I kind of hoped it would be. But I joined a Facebook group for it because I remembered my old like urine therapy thing was a great source of joy and much content on there. So
Have you been let into that yet? Again,
I'm not sure I've ever got kicked out. I haven't really checked. Anyway, but on this. And I feel like I hadn't been kicked out. And I felt like maybe this was a reason why they let me in, because I went to join and it basically says like, you know, like a lot of groups have like questions to answer to let you in to kind of qualify that you're not just going to come in and spam it or something, I guess.
Yeah.
You know? And this one had quite a lengthy like questionnaire. And one of them was like, have you watched a conference on breatharianism? And it was like this one. And it puts a YouTube link in it that you can't click. And I was like, well, there's no way you couldn't even copy and paste it. I was like, I'm not typing that out somewhere. And I thought maybe I'll watch a video. That's how I actually ended up watching this Sadhguru's video, because I thought maybe I'll watch some shit. I'll have something to answer their questionnaire, you know. And in the end, I just thought, I can't be fucked to answer that, whatever. And I cancelled it. And a few hours later, I checked Facebook and I'd just been let in the group anyway. Somehow. And I thought I'd cancelled my request. I guess it doesn't cancel it by not answering the questions. But yeah, it weren't all that. I mean, it's the same kind of shit you'd imagine. There's always the same sort of people that kind of are really active in it, much like the urine therapy group. I thought maybe that they let me in because they saw that I was a member of the urine therapy group.
Maybe,
I wonder if you can see like
our new leader,
like-minded
he's got
groups.
Vietnamese fisherman trousers on. He likes urine therapy.
I know. I did think they saw dreadlocks, saw urine therapy, and thought he's probably one of us.
Get him on.
But yeah, I mean, it's the usual fucking mad shit. I'll be honest with you. There's not much great in it. Although even in this, actually, there was one thing where people were talking about this one dude, and a lot of people were like, "Yeah, I think he's full of shit. I think he eats." You know. Again, it's another guy. I don't want to name him because he was just full of shit. It might have been the guy that had the burgers, actually. But anyway, breatharianism. Hype.
Load of bullshit.
But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for listening, listeners, and watching if you watched.
Big up
Sadhguru. Yeah, check him out. You know, there's some quite interesting stuff on meditation, etc. I might give intermittent fasting a go.
I won't.
I'll report back. I won't.
No, me neither.
Yeah, I'm gonna get like 18 hours or so. I think I'm gonna hype that, but not tonight. I'm going for a beer.
Oh,
enjoy your beer.
Yeah. All right. Cheers.
Right.
See you in the next one.
That was Curious Cast episode 66. Probably.